Hi everyone, this is Alexandria Jacobo. I'm here with you guys today following my partner Justin Acuna. We are studying the math model number towers. So we decided to go with first grade level, and you can see we're going to be talking about unifix cubes and manipulatives and how to use them in the classroom. So what are number towers used for? Number towers are used to help students understand math concepts such as addition, subtraction, counting in row, that's counting up from 1 to 60, 1 to 100, whatever you guys choose, but it's counting up. So also it includes comparing some numbers. So say if you want to have your students compare evens and odds, you can have them separate them. You can do groupings such as, count all the blue ones, count all the red ones, count all the white ones, and see how many each hour contains. You can also group them in evens or odds. You could group them in color. You can group them in different sizes. Like say if you had smaller unifix cubes, you can compare those ones with the larger ones. You can also do more than, less than, things like that. So as far as the number towers go to help students access math content, this is using their hands, they're manipulating, they're pulling apart, they're putting together, they're adding, they're counting, they're subtracting. All right, in the concrete stage, this is where students are using those cubes manipulatively. So they are physically touching the unifix cubes. They have some in their hand and they're putting them together. Or if it's a subtraction problem, they might see 6 and they have to take away 1. So they pull one apart, things like that. Also, students are using, in the concrete stage, they're using these unifix cubes maybe to measure. So they would put together, 6 unifix cubes is equal to 1 spoon. Or 5 unifix cubes are as big as this pencil, things like that. And also in this stage, students can use these cubes to make groups of 10. So you'd have 10 here, 10 there, 10 there, and then you can have your students add all of those numbers together, or you can even have students make a group of 10 and then take away 5, something like that. In the semi-concrete stage, rather than using those physical manipulatives, this is where you're going to see your students making the model themselves. So this is when they're drawing out those cubes, they're, counting them by color, maybe they're sorting them on their paper. They hear on the word problem it says, Jesse had 5 cubes, Ronan had 3 cubes. How many did they have all together? The kids can identify that by drawing out 3, then drawing out 2, and coming up with that drawing or sketch to help them solve the problem. They're still seeing that visualization, but they're not physically touching anything such as a unifix cube. There are other examples, so like drawing out 10 plus 10, students can draw out 10 cubes here, 10 squares here, things like that, or even drawing an array of 10s to make 100, so you can see that. There might even be some hand drawing cubes of adding or subtracting, just like I talked about earlier. So in the abstract stage, you're going to see your students applying all their background knowledge, activating everything they learned from the concrete to the semi-concrete stage. No more manipulatives are being used at this point. That was in the concrete stage. In the semi-concrete stage, you did see your students still using a visual, which is the drawing. But at this point, the students are able to solve those problems without manipulatives or those visual representations. So you only will see numbers and mathematical symbols. So here you see some pictures of an addition worksheet. You see only the numbers. So students might still see that in their head, how they were practicing and activating that background knowledge from the stages before. They might in their head see 6 plus 2 and can already automatically see that that would be 8. Or things like 9 plus 1, they might already automatically know in their head, they're visualizing it in their head, that that would equal 10. Okay, and then in the numbers, hundreds chart, you would see things like that too. So here we have the K through 3 standards, and this is what the math model can be used for with these standards. You do see the activity time coming up, and this is where I'll let my partner Justin take over. Take it away, Justin. Thank you.
All right, great. So I'm going to go ahead and pick up where Alex left off and actually explain the activity. Now that we know about what Unifix cubes are, how they work, and how students can use them in each of the stages of mathematical learning, we're going to go ahead and talk about the number towers activity and run through it as if we were a first grade classroom. So for the instructions, we will be working in groups of 2 to solve addition problems using number towers. On each slide, you will see a symbol. You're going to click that symbol to be taken to a website where you will see virtual digital Unifix cubes. The symbol is going to look like this, and this is what you are going to be using to make your math towers. Each person in the group will solve one of the 2 questions using Unifix cubes on the website. Then you are going to write your answer and equation in the box on the slide. Now you're going to be expected to show your work using your math tower that you're going to create in order to justify your answer. So make sure that you are getting those math towers built so that when we come back to class in about 15 to 20 minutes, you will be, everyone's going to be sharing. So regardless of how many people are in each group, both of you will be sharing. So there's 2 people in a group. You're working in pairs, and we all know our pairs. We know who we've been working with for the duration of the semester. You're going to look for symbols that look like this. So group 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now, I'm going to show you this again a little bit later, but it's important that you see what symbol is related to your group. Now, you're going to have access to click back and look at this, full editing access, so don't worry about it. We'll get started with our practice here in a minute. So actually, let's go ahead and start our practice. So each of you are going to see a slide. For this one, this is group 1 slide because it has a paper airplane, as you can see there. And then the next one is group 2. So you're going to have to go ahead and look at which symbol is related to your group. So you're going to have 2 questions to answer, and it's up to you to figure out who is going to answer what question. Okay, so you're going to have to figure out who's going to answer which question. There's 2 of them. So one of you is going to be answering either the first or the second, and the other will be answering the other one. So let's go ahead and practice with this. So for the sake of this activity, let's go ahead and delete all this. Great. So this question reads, Santiago has 3 baseball cards, 1 football card, and 4 basketball cards. How many cards does he have in total? So what I want you to do is come on over to this symbol here, click it, click the blue words, and you're going to be taken to a screen that looks like this. Now, go on back and write down the numbers in the equation. So he has 3 baseball cards, so you're going to write 3. He has 1 football card, so you're going to go ahead and write 1. And he has 4 basketball cards, so you're going to go ahead and write 4 in there. Now, since we have 3 plus 1 plus 4, we're going to be able to come over here to our building mat and actually plug in these numbers. So for the first one, it's 3. So you're going to go ahead and get the Unifix cubes, and you're going to get 3 out. So you're going to go 1, 2, and 3. So move those over because that's done for now. Next number is 1. So you're going to get 1 of another color. That's very important that you need to get another color because they're going to be different colors, and when you count them, they're all going to be different visual representations of those numbers. So we've got our 1. Now we're going to get our 4. So there's 4 here. This is our last group here. So we're going to go 4. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, and 4. Great. So now, as we practiced earlier, 3 plus 1 plus 4. So you're going to go ahead and put the 3 underneath the 4, or it can go on top, either way, and the 1. So now that we have all of our different colors representing our different numbers, we're going to count. So first is the blue. We'll start from the bottom and work our way to the top. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So our answer, 3 plus 1 plus 4 is equal to 8. So again, all of these, we've practiced with these before. It's just done on a digital platform. If you have any questions, feel free to ask us in the blog. We will be available for answering any questions you have in the blog. So again, we have various questions here that you can look at with different pictures and Bitmojis. So you guys will enjoy that. So again, thank you very much, and we hope you enjoyed. Have fun.